And I gotta chop it up with my dog sometimes. Yeah, cause we don't even talk for real. That's how you know we all grind.
So it's Mr.DoItAll podcast. I'm here with
Ace.
Alright, Jason DBKS.
yeah. This is a special episode. You feel me? We got some real business in the goddamn it. You feel me?
Get active.
We gotta get active. But yeah, we just added a new member to the team. Tell them who you is.
I'm Ace. I'm 17. You know what I'm saying? BG, my brother, man. Go back. Way back.
Yeah, if you don't know who he is, I ain't gonna lie to you. He might be young, but he really active in the community because like that George Floyd thing happened. I seen a video all over Instagram and Facebook. He was leading the whole damn crowd. He like you could tell he a little kid, you feel me? But he the one passionate as hell about that shit, leading the whole crowd. But yeah, man, welcome to the team. Okay.
I'm glad to be here, man.
Yeah, but man, so tell them who you is, man, for the ones that don't know.
You already know what it is. Jason DBKS, dating best kept secret. Mr. Got my hustle up. A lot of people know me for different things, from the movies to the music, for doing shit in the community.
Yeah, so we gonna touch on the beginning stage first before getting dive into anything else. So like, what made you want to start rapping?
Man, I was just trying to. I had a lot of stuff going on with my mom being sick, different stuff going on with my dad, and I was trying to figure out an outlet. And I was listening to different music, and I was connecting with different artists like Tupac, and like it was a song this artist Pastor Troy made called "For My Hustlers," and I was listening, and then I felt it. I'm like, man, I want to make something that a song that I can make somebody feel like this. So I was just on something like that. It was just an outlet for me. Then it turned into something bigger for me later on.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you stay consistent with something you're doing, it's gonna lead to other stuff that you don't expect. You feel me? Like, you started off with the rap. You go ahead.
So did you ever see it becoming something bigger than what it became? Like,
Yeah. I mean, myself, I always believed in it. So that was my thing. Like with my different people I was working with, I was trying to get them to see that what we could do. And it used to bother me because different people, even from like some of my family members, I try to get them to invest in me and they ain't want to invest.
Yeah, I
I
don't
understand the bigger picture.
Yeah, so I always just had that belief in myself that I could do this once I set my mind to it. And I just, I've been on this ever since I was like about 15, 16. So I'm 36 now, so I've been on this for 20 years.
Yeah, so basically keep going.
Yeah.
Like don't let nobody, you feel me, hold you back. Cause I'm 19, but I've been doing this since I was like 14. You feel me? I've been real. I asked him. He went to school with me and everything. You feel me? You just gotta stay consistent. It's gonna be a whole lot of hiccups for sure. You feel me? But just keep going. Ain't nothing worth quitting if you got your passion into it. You feel me? But yeah, man. So like, when you started rapping, what made you want to get into the clothes? Cause I ain't gonna lie to you. I remember me and my mom, we was copping shirts off for you when we was pulling up at the car wash. You was getting out your trunk and shit.
Yeah, I just always been about making money. Like when I was younger, I had the bake sales I was doing and stuff like that. So I was selling my music for like a couple dollars here and there. So I was always trying to find different ways to make money. Then I seen my dude Ken Lowe. He had his clothing line. I seen Coach Cronny. He had an I Ain't Got It shirts. So they was like the only two that I really seen doing it. But I was already wearing like the Jason mask for my music, and I was trying to figure out a slogan to put on the shirt. Cause like I said, he had I Ain't Got It, and I was trying to figure, that was a song that he had, so I'm like, man, I gotta find a good song and shit. When my songs was like, bitch, I'm on the grind, and another song called Where the Pussy At.
Right. You
can't put that on the shirt.
And I had some Fuck Child Support, different shit like that. I couldn't market it on a bigger scale, and then one day I did a song, and my engineer Mo Beats, he had chopped it up at the end and had it saying, got my hustle up from something I said in the song. And that just made the green light go out. Like, man, I'm about to put Got My Hustle up on the shirt. And shit, from there I just been running.
Yeah, cause
it took off.
It took off. But man, I hear this a lot. Everybody they want to know how the hell you be meeting all these celebrities. Like I remember back in the G, you used to I remember seeing you with Diddy. Who else? Diddy, Master P. Man, all types of people. So how did you get in that circle? Like what did you have to do?
I mean, really, like it's just. Like you said, staying consistent. Everything I did was like different situations. I got a book that's about to come out soon called 100 No's, 1 Yes. And it's talking about each one of them stories. Just like I'm pretty sure you seen the picture with me and Diddy.
Yeah.
And that's what made you refer.
I read the caption and everything. Yeah.
So I was gonna say, even like with that, like I stayed outside for like 9-10 hours at this place called the Velvet Room out there promoting. That's why I seen like a lot of famous artists hit on a Sunday night. One night Diddy was gonna be there, and like I said, I stayed there for 8-9 hours. By the time I got there like 10 o'clock, I didn't even get to see Diddy till like 4 in the morning. But it's like a set up like how Kroger's is or something like that. But I kept walking around in the circles all the way around the building because that was the back part of the security. By that time, they already done seen me out there for some hours. And when Diddy come down, it's raining. I try to holler, and they like, go ahead. I try to go up to Diddy. I'm like, man, what's up, man? I take a picture with you. I took a picture with him. Then I was holding the CD in the picture. As soon as we took the picture, I tried to give him the CD. He's like, nah, Playboy, I ain't doing none of that tonight. And he wouldn't even take the CD. So it'd be like, when people seen the picture, they like, man, I know he was with Diddy, But a lot of this stuff was a lot of letdown and a lot of
you get shot down a lot,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of you gotta have tough skin to be doing this.
Man.
So I was going state to state, meeting a lot of people. Like in one night, I might meet 10 celebrities or something, but just take pictures. And that's what people had started saying. They started being like, man, all you doing is going out of town.
See, that's what differentiates you with everybody else, because one thing you gotta know, when you're doing something, you can't just rely on social media. You gotta put in the footwork. You feel me? Like, I noticed, like, he was literally, like he said, going state to state, you feel me? Some people just rely on, you can't just rely on social media. You gotta actually shake these people's hands, you feel me? Get like, show them your product, you feel me? Like, that's real shit though.
Putting in the footwork first, you know? Like, you ain't just expecting it to come to you. You know that you got something to do. You willing to go handle your business. Like you said, you stand outside for 9-10 hours, like, in the rain, walking in circles, like, that's real dedication.
You was there for
like,
a purpose, and you stuck to it.
Exactly. Not too many people they give up, like, oh, he ain't coming. You know, like, that's...
And all that be learning experience. Like, even like that same night, I be telling people that night I met, because I did a song with Pastor Troy, the artist that I said motivated me to, well, he was one of the artists that motivated me to do it, so I had a special liking for him. But while I was out there at the Velvet Room, I ran into Titty Boy. They call him 2 Chainz. And I was going to do a verse with him. Well, I asked him about doing a verse. He said he wanted like 1,500. I'm like, man. And then Pastor Troy wanted like the same thing. So I'm like, man, I ain't fucking with no damn Titty Boy. I'm about to do this song with Pastor Troy. And then shit, we see like nigga, no disrespect to my nigga Pastor Troy, but we just see 2 Chainz. He took off on a whole nother level. You feel me? That would have been a good investment. That's what taught me like. That's why now I don't hesitate so much. I go all the way in. Like a lot of that shit, you're a second guess. And all that shit. That's why like when you said like with the different people I got in my movies, when the shit come to me about doing something, cause someone was telling me to holler at 2 Chainz. Then when he said the price, I'm like, but I knew I could have did it.
But you ain't had a platform.
You learn how to think your decisions through all the way. Like see the bigger picture type shit. I see what you're saying. So like, we're gonna get dive into like your first movie. So what made you? You already explained the title, Got My Hustle Up. What made you come up with that movie?
Cause I actually like that one Got My Hustle Up. That came out in 2018. I actually started doing my first movie in like 2011. It's called Mind on My Money.
Oh, okay.
No, but like a lot of people don't know that. Like I shot it and edited myself on Windows Movie Maker. And at the time, I'm like, it ain't go. He was actually in the movie. He was he had just got out of juvenile or something. We had a scene where he was tied up, and I was about to set him on fire, and I had water in the gasoline tank, and I was pouring water all around him and shit. And we was, but then after that, I had lighter fluid. Was trying to make the fire, but the fire in the actual scene was like a little bitty ass fire, so it just looked corny for the movie and shit, because I didn't put water everywhere, so you couldn't even light a fire in there. So I'm like, man, this shit whack, man. I ain't putting this movie out until I put something out that people don't like. And I kept saying that for years. I had like a movie called The Vexing that I was in. It was supposed to come out, somebody shot here, but it didn't never come out.
I heard about that one.
Yeah. I had that.
That's something a lot of people don't know about for real.
I didn't hear about Vixen, but I heard about Mind on My Money though.
Yeah, they had, I had a movie with Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. It was called You Can't Tell Me Nothing. It was supposed to be a short film. And my guy, he ended up losing the footage to that, so that ain't never come out. I had another movie called Allure of the Game that my dude shot to Kennedy. He made a book for it. We were shooting that ain't never come out. So I had a lot of different
trial and error.
And getting to Got My Hustle Up to when I got time, and then even with that, like I got with my dude Peso and told him and put the deposit in for that. Like 2014, we ain't start shooting until 2016, so it was some shit to where everybody was spending me kind of in playing. Then I ended up got tired of waiting and shit. I'm like, man, I'm about to do my own movie. I'm like, man, I'm about to. I had already seen like Michael Blackson and Jamal Woolard. I had seen them in like different places, like going state to state. I went to Atlanta and snuck in the BET Awards.
I seen that. Hey, you get it up. I swear, I seen that.
That's what I'm saying. Everything was. That's why I tell people not to just keep working and shit. Cause everything I did, I ain't know at the time, but it was planting the seeds to get me to where I was at.
Yeah, right.
Cause when I snuck into the BET Awards, if I wouldn't have never did that, got my hustle up, might not ever came up. But I snuck in there, and then I ended up moving around in my seats. Cause my ticket wasn't no good. It was like some shit. I bought a ticket from a scalper. Yeah. When I got to the door, the dude next to me got one. They looked at this ticket like, this ticket ain't no good. He like, oh no, I got it. And then when they wasn't looking, I hurried up and went in. And then I ended up with, so my seat, the seat number wasn't right, so I had to keep moving around. And I'm moving the seat. Person like, man,
I did
somebody
that
next to me. Somebody next to me. They like, man, ain't that the dude from Biggie sitting behind us? And I turned around and seen it was Jamal Woolard. And I gave him one of my CDs and had him take a picture. And then when I got back to Dayton, I'm like, man, I had the same picture like I had with Diddy. I'm like, man, I gotta stop doing that. I gotta get that contact information. I should have got his number to where I could have got him in my movie. This and that. So then a year later, my engineer, Mo Beast, died, and I ain't know how I was gonna record my music. So I went to LA, and I ended up seeing Jamal Woolard again. Got his contact information, and then Michael Blackson. I had a picture with him holding my Got My Hustle Up shirt. And I said the same thing about him. Them pictures on my wall at home. Because when I seen Michael Blackson again, I ended up getting Michael Blackson to agree to do my movie. And that was the very first scene that we shot for the whole movie, was the scene with Michael Blackson.
Oh, okay.
That's dope.
If you see the movie, that's like an hour in the movie. I built the whole movie around that one scene and shit.
Yeah, cause I ain't gonna lie, that movie, every time I watch it, it's a dating classic for sure. Because you got a lot of important people in dating that's not here no more, like Mike Lansky, Virgil, so what was it like shooting that movie? Like, what was the difficulties? Like, what was the difficulties and what was the best moments?
I mean, that's why, even like with that, I tell people I shot the movie the worst way you can shoot a movie. Like I said, I shot that scene, that scene with Michael Blackson first. And then built the whole movie around that. And like if you see like the scenes with like the pest control. Yeah. Like we shot it took us like 3 years to shoot the whole movie, so all that stuff like pieced in between it. So I had to keep track of what we had. Like, man, Bupac, you had on the white, the black and yellow Jordans. Don't forget that you had the black J's on, you had on low cut socks, you had on, you feel me? I had to remember. Then we was shooting these scenes. Like every scene you see with me and Bupac with the white outfits, it might be a scene with us. Inside, like the scene with me and Michael Blackson and them shooting that scene, we got a scene we outside talking on the phone outside the hotel. That was like a whole year later we shot that scene.
Oh wow!
So it was some stuff like that.
I was wondering, because I remember you had called my pops use his truck for that last scene. Yeah. So I was wondering like why it takes so long. I'm like, dang, we shot that back in the G-Ski, you feel me? Because I remember. It was Murder Pain. That whole day, I think that whole day you just shot the last scene.
Yeah, see, even like that, when I brought him down there that time, we had to bring him back again because I needed to shoot some other scenes. And even like where I had y'all do that truck, we shot that scene again without the truck there, and the Dayton police came and shut the whole thing up, put guns on it. That's at the end of the movie too. And shit. So like it took a lot of piecing together, and me just staying focus on it to get it done.
So you made it in order, or you made the pieces of the movie like out of order, and you just did it when you could?
Nah, I mean it just happened like that on it. Like it just I had the script together, but like when we did like Murder Pain and Gravy, that was like my first time. Just so I was trying to shoot all they scenes while they was here, and then when I got it done, I did like other stuff. I'm like, man, I need to add some other shit. I'm like, man, we gotta go to Hilltop and get a scene with somebody fighting.
Yeah, I like that scene. Yeah.
So I like that. I'm like,
set that tone.
Yeah, I'm like, let me add this little spices in there and shit like that. And then I'm like, man, I gotta bring Gravy, Jamal Woolard back and add some little extra stuff with us doing some stuff. So we went to the mall and went to the jewelry store and added some extra little stuff in there. I brought Murder Pain back. Like, man, let me get. So actually, it took him to 5 Oaks Day and just added a little extra stuff in there so it all come together. And and it all worked out. It was
You got some heavy hitters for your first movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Definitely.
I'm like a lot of people I know that's out of town. They ask me what they like. I'm like, go watch Got My Hustle Up.
Yeah.
He touched every single. He got the ratchetness. He got the skepness. He got, you feel me?
Yeah.
Every aspect.
Every aspect of it.
Like, it's a Grammy city for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good that you in the city doing something positive. Like you remember the show Empire came out and they had their little own version, the little dating Empire, and you had you on there. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
So
I ain't gonna lie.
You've been doing this, like, this ain't nothing new to you.
Yeah, I ain't doing it for a long time, so that's why I tell people not to stop, because like I said, if I would have stopped a while ago, I wouldn't have been able to get to this point.
Exactly.
So it's like, man, a lot of this time take time, man. You gotta stay consistent with it. So many people I've seen fall out because they stop. So that's why I done learned that now, because there's so many things for me. Like I would be rapping and I had surgery on my neck. I couldn't even move my neck like that. But I was filming. I was in the middle of filming. Got My Hustle Up. So as soon as I got finished, as soon as I got to the hospital, and I went and filmed Got My Hustle Up in my neck messed up. So some of the scenes, even like that, like some of the scenes where I had on all white, I had surgery on my neck. Where, like, man, I gotta keep pushing though. Like, a lot of people
see the bigger picture.
Dedication,
Yeah. Just gotta keep
like,
going.
What really made you want to get into making movies? Like, what pressed that button for you and you was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do? Like, you just took off with it.
I mean, it wasn't really, because like I said, I had already shot a movie before and I knew I could do that, but I'm like, man, my dude Peso, he was shooting music videos. I'm like, man, if I can do this myself on this little camera, I know he can do that. But then it was taking so long to get it together. Then when my engineer died, I couldn't get nobody, I ain't really trust nobody to really record my music like that. And then it was just like, shit, I call myself dating best kept secret. It was a lot of people rapping. I'm like, man, I'm better than all these niggas. These motherfuckers ain't trying to listen to my music. So I was like, man, I gotta figure out another way to get these people to listen to my music. And I'm like, man, all right, then I just know I can put the music on my movies, because that's what I did on my first one. I'm like, so I'm gonna make the movies and put my music on there. That's why I got My Hustle Up, got so much music on there. Because I'm like, man, I ain't really think it was gonna, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think Got My Hustle gonna blow up like how it did as far as like that. But I'm like, man, because I was like, that was my whole thing for doing it, was putting the music on there so people could hear it. And I'm like, man, I ain't just gonna put out my music, I'm gonna show love and put the city on there. But all my movies is gonna be, like, everybody think I stopped doing music. But really, I do more music now than ever, because now I can control it and put them on my movies and drop the soundtracks and shit like that.
So you doing it all on a different scale.
Take it to a whole
That's real smart. I ain't even gonna lie.
You like, I ain't gonna lie, you the definition of his levels to this shit. Like, cause you done went from the bottom to the top. Like, you was in the middle. You really walked through the.
I appreciate it.
That's why I'm
still just trying to keep going. Like, even like, I'm closer than ever, but I'm still like, that's why I still try to stay humble and keep people motivated. Like, man, you just gotta keep going, man. Even like now, you sound like I just lost my mom a few months ago.
Sorry about your loss.
I appreciate y'all, but that like there make a nigga wanna give up. And I'm like, man, I gotta keep going, keep pushing for my mom and all that shit. So it's like, a lot of that shit just be, man, gotta stay consistent, keep going through the ups and the downs. And like I said, my mom just passed. If I would've stopped in, the stuff that people congratulate me for now, they wouldn't even be talking about, because I could be home somewhere, depressed, making excuses and not doing shit, and everybody, well, Jason been at, man, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of that shit, you just gotta keep fighting. That shit be mental.
Yeah, so what was your, I gotta touch on this because you was a part of like the Dating Legends. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So what was it like, what was your relationship like with Mike Lansky? I've seen little earlier music videos and stuff with y'all. Like, what was your relationship like with Mike Lansky?
Yeah, that was my dog, man. Yeah, R.I.P. my nigga Lansky.
Yeah, R.I.P. Mike Lansky.
I just rolled past there before I got here. I was just on live and shit, and I just pointed the camera there and said, R.I.P. my nigga Lansky. I go up there a lot and smoke and chill and listen to his music up there.
Yeah.
I actually was with him like about 20, 30 minutes before probably like 20 before he got killed.
Yeah, cause I seen your live.
Yeah, we was all over there, right there in Mexico, James H. McGee that night and shit. His auntie was showing, got My Hustle Up on the side of the building and shit. Dame the Great and all them Coogee, I Rock, all the niggas was over there that night. And Mike came over there and hollered at us for a second, and he ended up leaving. And 20 minutes later, he got the car and he was fucked up, man. Shit, man. That was my nigga, man.
Yeah, I seen you took that. You made something bigger of it. Cause you know a lot of people take a major loss and let that be their downfall. But instead of doing that, you doing it like, okay, now I'm getting more inspired. Cause I know he want me to push myself to do better. You feel me?
Yeah. The day he got killed, like when he got killed, I was going through. I was promoting heavy and shit. I just came from New York from winning a film festival. On his funeral, I had to leave early, but I didn't even get to stay to go to his burial because I left his funeral and went to the airport. Now I went to the rental place and drove to Atlanta. Then I caught a flight to Miami and met with Master P. The next day, I told Master P about it, showed him his obituary and everything. And showed him, pointed Mike out in the movie and peace scene and everything. Asked about this, your dog just got killed. That's where I went. Right after his funeral, I went right to meet with Master P. That was one of the means that helped change my life to even get to this next step. So everything be steps. Like it'd be, even with the Master P, I was like, that was my biggest, kind of like how people congratulate me now for the stuff I'm doing now. When I met with Master P, everybody like, boy, he about to blow, So that's why I be telling people, don't let that shit go to your head and shit. I post a picture with Master P, everybody like, man, so he about to blow, But not knowing how the interaction actually went, like it went good, but it was just different things. Like I could have went a different way with it, but I chose to go my own route and stay independent. So I ain't gonna lie to you. That's Master P is one of the niggas I look up to the most. What was that experience like having that conversation with him? Yeah. I mean, it was a good experience. It just was, like I said, it just taught me just to keep going, man. Like a lot of that stuff try to get with these people, but they ain't really. They trying to get their money and shit, so they ain't really, it just depends on what you're trying to do and shit. Like I always say this, I remember, I don't want to say too much about this again, but if I can say anything, man, P, he told me like, man, how much money you plan on making off your first movie? And I told him, I said, shit, I plan on making my first $1 million or something. He like, man, you gotta be more realistic than that. Then I told him like, man, I ain't getting in this role with you thinking realistic. So I just like shit like that, like, man, you gotta know what you want to do with your shit, and like even like that, he wanted me to give him, got my hustle up. He was gonna work with me, but he wanted to make it shorter to where it wasn't be 2 hours and 15 minutes because he felt like that was kind of long a movie for somebody to want to watch. But by this time, it had already been out in the city. Everybody already seen it in my city. They loved it. I'm like, man, you just need to watch it. And if you watch it all the way through, and you still think we need to make it shorter, then that's cool. But we ain't never get to that point to where you can watch it all the way through. So I ain't want to just give him my hard drive with my movie and shit. I just went on ahead and motherfucking went my own route. Cause I kept trying to set up another meeting with him so he could watch the movie all the way through. Cause I ain't want to blow that bad to where I give the movie to P and then it drop and everybody. This how y'all see like car with your dad's truck and they done cut that out. Or, you know what I'm saying? Different shit.
I was waiting for that part when I first seen it.
But I'm just saying that's how I be when you get with these people in gun control. They cut out shit and cut out.
It's not how you want it.
So I'm like, but I wanted to be involved in everything I do because I wasn't looking for no handouts or nothing. So that's why I'm like, even like now, I'm waiting to meet with P again, and then I'm gonna now he gonna at that time when we had got my hustle up. That was about like 2 years ago. Now when I meet with him, I got like 5, 6 movies, a cartoon series, my own hand sanitizer. I got everything on.
That's jumping. So I wanted to ask you this so bad, like, what was it like going to Oak King Von?
I know that.
Take us through that whole experience, like from the phone call and all. Like, what was that like, man?
Like, what was you doing when you got the phone call?
Yeah. I mean, shit, I was in my driveway when I got a phone call from King Von manager and shit. He was telling me that they wanted me to.
Shout out 100K track, by the way.
Yeah, they wanted me to do the movie and shit, but that was like a process. Like he said that, and I ended up getting the script together. And then, you know what I'm saying, that took a few months, and I sent them the script, and they said it was cool, and it was like they wanted me to. But I wrote the script. I got my dating lingo. They like, man, we want you to come to Chicago, hear how we talk and shit like that.
And they different out there. They talk way different.
Yeah, so like, man, we want you to come out here and see the culture out here. That's what Track tell him. But he from Florida, but he just like, man, come out here, get the shit. So I'm like, shit. All right, I come out there. And shit, but I thought I was gonna be meeting like in an office or something like that. You know, then when I got out there, I was out there in Chicago like all day, and I waited for them to hit me up to let me know when I was gonna meet with them. So I was just like downtown and in the little spots and shit. But
you visiting restaurants?
Nah, not that I can remember. I probably went to like some pizza place or something. I can't
Yeah, that's
remember.
where I be going. Pizza places.
Yeah.
Jumping.
Yeah, I did that, I think, but I was more or less just waiting on them, trying to wait for him to call. Then he finally hit me up with the address, and I went over there and seen it. And then when I got the highway, like, man, he said it was 63rd. I just remember hearing that from his music.
Yeah, you like, man.
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking too much of it, but yeah, when I got over it, but before I got to Chicago, I was even like knowing the seriousness of it, so I took it serious, but shit, when I got there, shit, I just was being normal and shit, it was cool and shit, man. I was only supposed to be there one day, I ended up, they changed my flight, I stayed there for 3 days, so it was something like that, to where the first night I had got there, I ain't had no weed or no bottle or nothing, I was trying to find the weed and shit, cause I ain't know nobody out there and shit, so I ended up getting something when I was in the O block and shit, and then shit, the next day when they told me I was staying, the next day I done came out, got my weed bottle, and you know what I'm saying, chilling, they were shooting music videos out there, so it was really the same shit, full of shit like that and shit, it was
So like,
a cool experience.
So like they was treating you like family in a way? Or like nah?
I mean, it wasn't treating like family, but it was cool, like it was just like, even like out there, a lot of places you gotta have an introduction, like you can't just be over there, like they knew I was over there for 100K and shit, you know what I'm saying, shit like that, so even like in King Von, he's respected over there, so when he in town, they know like he got a lot of different people running, like the day I left, they shot the video with him and the dude 4 and 5 over the I Am Who I Am video.
Oh, okay.
So they shot that like the next day, because while I was there, they shot this video called Bleach Place. And then the next day they shot that one with 5-0. But shit, they was just, when he in town, they be doing all type of shit, so they know it's all type of unfamiliar people, but they got a pass for being in there with what they doing with Von, so it was just a situation like that, like I ain't had no problems or nothing, it was all love and shit.
Yeah, that's what it's about, man.
Man, that's turn. I ain't even gonna lie. When I seen that, I was like, it's over. It's over. Like I seen that, like,
took off.
Yeah, it's over. He with Bond now. It's over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I tell people you gotta keep going. A lot of people can't handle being in my shoes, cause like I'd have been in, even before all this other, like with P, even before the P shit, but it'd be like, when I got with P, it looked like, man, they about to blow now. With Vine, about to blow now. Every time it always look like something happened and shit slow you down, to where it'd be like, if you ain't mentally strong to keep going, you're gonna fall off. And that's what a lot of people be messed up. They might have somebody investing in them, and put money behind them, and then that person stop putting money behind them. Now they gonna stop. They don't let that shit handicap. That's one of my gifts. I was always trying to get somebody to invest in me. I could never get nobody to invest in me, and I was seeing all these other people having people investing in them, and so that just motivated me to get my money together. Now that I got my shit together, now it's be all type of people like, man, I'm trying to invest.
Now they trying to do it.
So it's just a process, man. You just gotta stay down till you come up, man.
But even with that, you gotta like be careful who you talking to, cause this person, they might be telling you they got your best interest at heart, but really they trying to spin you in a whole different direction.
Yeah. That's why you just gotta. That's why I mean my route might not work for everybody, but that's why I tell people not to overthink stuff. Cause at the same time, like when I got ready to do my movie, I was looking on Google and trying to figure out what I needed to do to make a movie and all the jobs that it consists of, and it was just basically just saying like it's impossible to be able to do your own movie by yourself and shit like that. So if you look at Google or you trying to do something, you look at these different things, it's gonna tell you that you can't do it, and you gonna something the average person don't believe it, like, man, I can't do that. But now, fast forward now, I got 5 movies about to come out. I just got positions doing some shit out of town and shit, doing shit. So it's like I ain't had no schooling for this. I'm all self-taught. Like this all just all me believing in myself. So it's just, man, you gotta just know what you want for yourself, and you can't really go off what nobody else talking about and listen to what they saying. It's just all of what you trying to do for real. So that's why I try to tell everybody.
Okay, for sure. So like so I know you can't speak much about the movie, but for the people that's wondering, what can we expect? Like I ain't gonna say like what's in the movie, like what can we expect? Like the impact,
Oh well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even like that, like it ain't even, we ain't started filming it yet. It's in, like they trying to figure out now if they gonna make it a full-length movie or a series and shit.
Oh, okay.
So it's like now, like the movie that me and King Von was originally working on was about his son, Crazy Story.
Oh, okay.
He was turning that to a full-length movie, but now that he done passed away, now everybody want to see about his life story.
Yeah.
So it's a different process now. So now we really just back to the drawing board, getting everything lined up to be able to make the project the best that it can be.
Welcome back. We took a little break, you feel me? But yeah, man, we here, you feel me? But what we expect from you in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, like what's coming up? What you got up your sleeve, you know what I'm saying? I know you got some magic happening.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what I got coming that far ahead, but I know in the next 5 to 10 months, I know I got the movie PUA coming. I got Fuck Child Support, the animated cartoon series. I got my movie Up in the Club. I got my movie Love, Loyalty, and Death. I got my movie A Dime to a Dollar. I got another movie called Deeper Than Revenge coming, man. We got a lot of different things coming. So within now, in these next couple of years, man, we're gonna be flooding the streets with these movies, hitting with these independent films, and we're gonna take them to the next level, get to these bigger budget films in the future, and just try to stay positive, stay motivated, keep making stuff happen. I'm actually gonna take some acting classes and screenwriting classes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I try to get people on too. Like shit, I ain't do no schooling with this shit, and I done made it this far. So just imagine if I polish my skills up and
yeah, cause I was thinking about going to acting school too. Cause you remember I always talk about you me getting in a movie. I actually started looking into it. I'm about to get into acting school just so I can come more official. You feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, like with your movie In the Club, like what was it like shooting with AJ Johnson? You actually like wasn't that his last movie?
Yeah, that was the last movie he filmed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what was he like for real? Like during the movie set? Like I already know he is a character. That man funny as hell.
AJ crazy, man. That's all I'll say too. I ain't gonna say too much about AJ. AJ crazy. It was a different type of experience, man. Shout out to his manager, Mike D. He was my guy. He helped me set it up, man. And, you know what I'm saying? AJ, he came, and he was in the city for a couple of days. Then when it was time for him to film, he was about his business, man. He was trying to get his paper and get on his way, man. So, but he was there for all day for a good day shoot with me, man. And I'm sure he had a good time while he was here. When he left here, he went to Vegas and shit. He had called me while he was out there. He was kicking it. But, man, I hate that happened to him, man. R.I.P. AJ Johnson.
AJ Johnson, man.
Yeah.
That was another legend off of movie Friday, man. Like that's a classic. I ain't even gonna lie. Yeah, man. So, what movie gonna drop? What's the soonest movie gonna drop? Cause we've been waiting for the longest.
Yeah. I got my movie PUA with Ha Davis and Common J. Will. Got my dude Bupac, Hoops from Flavor of Love, and Just Bring.
Ooh, he got some heavy hitters. He got some heavy. Hey, you got some heavy hitters, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I know, yeah. I got that one coming, and I got the animated series Fuck Child Support. It's 4-part series and shit, so I got a few people on each episode. So each episode gonna have a different group of people. And shit.
Who you have on the Fuck Child Support?
The first episode I got like Busy Bone and Michael Blackson. I got then on the second episode I got like OJ the Juice Man, and I got my dude Common J. Will doing some comedy. I got the third episode I got like Turk from the Hot Boys and a lot of different people, you know what I'm saying? Each episode I got a different comedian, a different rapper and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, where can we expect to watch this at?
Man, what's gonna be on?
It's gonna be on like Tubi TV, Amazon Prime. But
shout out to Tubi TV.
Yeah, y'all like go to Tubi TV, watch that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like August I'm gonna drop it. Y'all heard it here. I didn't even tell nobody I got OJ the Juice Man. I stopped promoting it for real after the first episode. I dropped that and see how people liked it. And then I just moved forward and started adding other people. So when I first dropped the first episode, I had 3 celebrities in it, and now I got like 14. So I just name dropped a couple of them.
He got some heavy hitters.
I got 14 people in Fuck Child Support as the whole series for the release. So I'm gonna be promoting it more as it get closer to the release date.
Okay.
Yeah. So what was that process like making a cartoon? Because I'm a graphic designer. So I make cartoons, stuff like that. What was that process like with the cartoon and stuff, with voiceovers and stuff like that?
My guy Adam's Club, man, he that's the one who does my animation. But like as far as the voiceovers, I go to the studio and I record those, and then I get all the recordings. I record like the whole episode, and then I get it to him, and then we build the animation around that once I do the dialogue.
Oh, so it's like he built an animation off the sound.
Yeah, off my scenes and shit.
That's different.
He talented.
Yeah, that's different because normally
Adams Club.
Shout out to Adams Club, man. You got it.
Yeah, because normally they'll have the little cartoon playing first, then you voice over it, don't they? Or something like that.
Well, that's what I said. See, mine can't do it like that because like mine about child support, so I be had to do like the actual scene about like I got in the first episode, like I made it like, man, I wait for my stimulus check to come, then I get a letter in the mail that my stimulus check ain't come. So that's what my dialogue is, and then he just make the character like he opening the door, like, man, where my stimulus check at? So like they build everything around stuff, and I got like. Then I tell him like, and I do it just like got my hustle up. I have parts where I just put music, and then I tell him like what I want. Like in my first episode, I played one of my dude Dirty Dan songs.
Shout out to Dirty Dan.
Then I had him like,
Got some bangers.
yeah, my animation guy jump on the 4-wheeler and start riding down Gettysburg on the 4-wheeler, different little shit. So I be telling him I'm on different little animation.
You got the bird on there? Ooh.
Yeah, so I just be
You talking spicy.
Hey, no cap. Y'all gotta just tune into this. No cap. We can't talk no more about it because y'all gotta watch it. Y'all ain't gonna know too much. Y'all gotta just sit there and watch it, man.
Definitely doing what Google said is impossible, basically. You know what I'm saying?
And this all started off from a small dream. Cause you feel me, building up. You feel me? First start off rapping and accelerated. All you had to do was keep going, man. No
Put his
cap.
mind to it. Like this, he's showing you could do it. All you gotta do is invest in yourself and be willing to put in the footwork. Take the time out of your day. Get off your butt. Stop talking to girls all day. Go get some money, man.
Yeah, man. I'm BG made it.
I'm Ace.
Yeah, I know Jason, DBKS.
Yeah, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we out.
And I gotta chop it up with my dog sometimes. Yeah, cause we don't even talk for real. That's how you know we out.